Welcome all. My name is Irfan. I'm working with Alec Engineering and Contracting Company as a digital construction manager. I have led digital delivery on many BIM mega projects in Middle East, specifically in United States, Emirates, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi. So today, by profession, I'm a civil engineer with over 14 years of experience in this industry. I'm a certified professional, Autodesk professional, and a certified ISO 19650 practitioner. So let's move to an agenda. So with an expertise focusing on a digital handover on a mega projects in the Middle East, I'll be presenting BIM-centric processes and next-gen BIM tools implemented successfully to deliver the mega projects as the main contractor. Instead of focusing on one particular fancy tool, rather we'll go through the different stages of the digital delivery from the mega projects which we have delivered. Mainly, we will be focusing on like establishing and using the next-gen BIM exchange platforms as the CDE, 3D coordinations, tools, shop drawings extractions, 4D analysis, dashboards, look-aheads. Then we move to the visual walkthrough VR through gamifications. We actually have like our green room setup in one of the projects where we used to collaborate using the virtual reality. I'm going to touch on that when we move to that point. And then laser scanning, deflection analysis, uh, and as builds. Apart from that, we will be also focusing on automation for asset information management using Kobe and other tools. So before moving into the detail for each stage, let me show you our high level information management workflow, how we means like process information in Alec. So in this flow chart, what you can see is like we have our common data environment, and through all the other BIM department or the other department will have their own deliverables and responsibility. In Alec, we believe that BIM is everybody's business, and department needs to take care of their own deliverable and need to have their own champions. We as a digital team will make sure the process has been in place, proper coaching is provided, and manage the client expectation. While we do the coaching and building a processes, it's up to the department to carry that work forward and deliver on that part. For example, our planning team takes the ownership here. You can see planning team takes the ownership of synchro, fuser, and they have like champions working under the planning manager where our it's like they will feed to the 4D simulations. Similarly, our QS owns the 5D processes. They have guys who are trained on cost X to fulfill the QS requirement. So like you said, that every, like you see, every means like department has their own champions. Even the IT team, our IT team is trained to set up the CDE system, trained to set up the VR, and they look after our green room and VR headsets. So they're the one who does all the maintenance and the installation for the VR. So as a digital team, we take the ownership of like optimizing the models and optimizing the workflows and make sure that the workflow is it's like as per the client's requirement. Apart from that, for data validation, we also introduce some next gen tools like Morta and Diroots to help validate the AIM models, the data through the cutting edge technologies. So we automate all our data validation processes. I'm gonna means like go in bit detail when we means like move to the slide. Like I said that QAQC is responsible for handling the overall economics, which is the usually most of the time client prefers CDE system in Middle East, whereas our shared or WIP models and the other documentation is like a shared responsibility between the digital team and the QAQC. So all the here most of the client prefer to use BIM 360. So we took the ownership for our supply chain so that the information is flowing seamlessly. Okay, uh, let's now start digging into different digital delivery BIM uses. We can start with the cloud-based collaboration alongside Econix. Early adoption of BIM 360 as a project CDE played a vital role in streamlining the exchange of BIM and design information from the different stakeholders. All project stakeholders and collaboration purpose implementation helped duplication of data and centralizing the data in, and it becomes the single source of truth. One of the major challenges on the mega project is you will end up managing a large number of models, and sometimes getting the critical information becomes very difficult. So in Alec, with the help of Mota, we develop an integration tool where we can pull metadata to a central clear KPIs. If I can show you the magnitude of like projects which I'm talking about, here is like with the two BIM staff, like a BIM manager or the digital delivery manager and this his coordinator, we on a weekly basis we handle around 600 Revit models, 50 plus subcontractors or supply chain on board. Uh, then 9 different authoring software use converted to Revit every week. So interoperability is a big thing here. It's almost while we are discussing, we touch around the 1,000 Navis models. So 2 and 4 Navis models on a weekly basis touch to 1,000, more than 1053 uploads to BIM 360. And you can see the polygons scraping most like because we need to optimize that models to be used in the VR and AR, so that we need to optimize that model. So it's roughly around 4 to 5 billion polygons. Apart from that, there are constant design changes happens due to the it's like coordination and other things. So the IFC sketches is like almost 600 to 800 IFC new sketches comes in on a weekly basis. So what we do is like with the, if I can go back to show this integration. So what does it do is like models will be uploaded on the BIM 360 on a regular basis, on a weekly basis from all the supply chain. So that what will happen is like in help with the help of Mota, we have created an API that will pull all the information from the BIM 360 database and update into our model tracker. So with that model tracker, what we do is like we link it to the Power BI dashboard. So it will give us the live feed of like what's going on with our models uploads. So with help of Mota, this kind of dashboards, it's a live Power BI dashboard uh, which gives us insight in like what kind of model uploads happening, the approval, the status of rejections, who is delaying the packages, and all that kind of crucial data which otherwise will be difficult to fetch on a weekly basis. So we use this integration to give us the clear idea and help us maintain our grip on the projects. So basically, this is the CDE system and Mota integration. Then if we can move to next slide, which is BIM coordination. So for 3D coordination in our projects, most of the project we started using Revisto because it gives us single source of truth for all teams, all skills level from any location and any devices. So it's a simply BIMCAT workflow into single view. It creates a central hub for all models. real-time issue tracking, and coordinate issue across the team in an office or site. So basically, all the team members will jump on the Revisto, either if it's in the iPad, their PCs, so they can create the issues, and with the help of automation and stamps, it's just a click away. So if they see the issues aside, they can click the photo and create a stamp, and all the automation works in background, and notification will follow. So Revisto has a like very good issue tracking and coordination system. So that's the reason we moved to Revisto, and 2D to 3D geometry and data synergy. So yeah, Revisto is also have something called their 2D. They impose the 2D model, or superimpose the 2D model into 3D 2D drawings into 3D models, which gives actually means the information which was otherwise missing in the 3D model when you just cut the models, slice the models, and try to view. Plus it also have a VR immersion. So what we can use is like it's like a live coordination or work in progress model. You can means like link it to, if you're using Oculus Quest or any other available VR technology, you can directly jump into it and you can directly view the VR models. We've been using it for our collaboration and coordination meeting, or as well to show the client means like the live model feed. Apart from that, Revisto also had like a couple of very means like powerful tools. One is called 2D to 3D synergy. If you see here what we are doing is like this functionality help us to superimpose the 2D drawing. So when the drawing's been extracted directly from the, or published directly from the Revit itself. So Revisto understand and it superimpose the 2D drawing to 3D models, and it gives us the vital information otherwise it's not available in the 3D model, like the annotation or the other services. So you can actually compare your 2D drawings to the 3D models. Apart from that, you can upload point cloud to Revisto, and this point cloud environment and access to the model from anywhere and any device. So here you can see that we imported the point cloud model onto the normal models, and this is taken from the iPad. So it's powerful. You can access it from everywhere, and you can start creating issue and stamps from the means like from the iPad, even for on the point cloud. So what it does is like it creates your central issue tracking system. So you can create an issue, discuss the issues. It has the messaging functionality, so you can start discussing on the issues, and you can change the status. And it also creates as a dashboards, so you can schedule the dashboard. So every Thursday before leaving the office, the all the updated dashboards can be means like send it to the concerned persons. Moving to shop drawing. So in Alec, what we see is like digital construction and engineering department work together with the consultant and subcontractor to produce a coordinated buildable 2D drawings. This integration of engineering deliverables are easier and faster to produce as well as to iterate. So if you have any changes, so you don't have to means like do the changes twice. It's like you do the changes in the model, the all the drawings are updated, and the information it's like shop drawings are directly from the extracted from the model, right? So the information received at the site is always synced to the model. It's true and it's coordinated, which help us as a digital team to use the BIM to field tools such as robotic total stations in other like total stations. So we use robotic total station to do the 3D layouts. So for us, extracting the drawing and having the correct information from the model is very much required. And with these processes, we make sure that all our subcontractors is following the same process. Apart from 3D, then we move to the, let's say, next BIM use, which is 4D analysis and dashboard reporting. So project control dashboard and progress simulations, we projected the 4D plan versus actual. All our engineering and construction models are linked with all the activity IDs and the other information required to simulate or required to integrate into the 4D softwares. Here we use Synchro and Fuser, and then later on we develop the reports through Power BI. So apart from that, what we do is like we use Revisto or uh, Direct sheet rings to create a dynamic links between our model elements to 4D softwares or for model elements to the plan program. So what will happen is like if anything changes, so we can synchronize it back quickly so that we will have all latest data all the time. So here is one of the example of the project control dashboard which we have created. So I've cut down the video because it was like a sensitive project, so because of these NDAs. So here what you can see, we have a dashboard which has been linked through the Primavera and the Synchro and developed and using the Power BI. So here you have like a project time and progress of the cost level by level and discipline by discipline progress bars. So apart from that, we have like a legends to show that what's going on, what activities is getting in the 4D simulation. And here in the below you can see that we even link it to the cost. So if I play, you can see that elements are coming, different activities happening, and even the costs are changing. So these dashboards are completely integrated with our 4D models and the Primavera, our planning tool. So every week we present client in our planning reporting that this kind of dashboards, which gives us more insight using the latest technologies and latest tools. Moving forward, let's let's talk about the virtual walkthrough and virtual reality. We have in many of our projects have set up the green rooms where we have like state of art headsets by Vario and very powerful machine to run the virtual VR models. Here in one of the image you can see in our green room project team operation teams are collaborating with each other, uh, moving to the models and doing a collaboration session. This gives us cutting edge advantage over our competitors, and whenever the new subcontractors are coming on board, it's easier to means like give them an introduction to the model to the facility using the VR immersion. So it helps us like walk through the model and see the final product, enhance the meeting and collaboration on a virtual environment. Powerful tool for early stage project planning and a build strategy. It actually we actually have like noticed that it reduced the reduction of rework. So because we can plan it properly from before it goes to the site, so actually it result in reduction of the rework. We use Unreal Engine and other tools like Enscape, as well as Alec has developed in collaboration with Vario Acular. We have developed our own platform to run the VR models. So it optimized the our models because some of the projects has like a big model, like 18 to 20 GB of like Navisworks models, federated models. So we were finding difficult to find a product which it's like cater to that heavy model. So what we did is like we using a Vario or Acular platform, we develop our own and we optimize it using the Unreal Engine, our models, so that it can be means like view seamlessly. Moving forward to augmented reality. So for augmented reality, live model visualization on site, our all site engineers and foremen are equipped with iPad, which has Acular powered Alec AR app. Like I said previously, we developed an AR app as well. If you can see, this gentleman is holding an iPad, which has like an app which is developed by a Alec in collaboration with Acular, which enables them to view the model and superimpose with the reality. Apart from that, what they can do is like they can switch on the layers, switch on the layers from the model to actually see, like, let's say if you have a ceiling, so you can, if you switch off the ceiling, you can start looking at the services behind the ceiling. So it gives them a control over planning the services installation, or to see the any deviation which happened from the plan versus like actual installation. It very much enhance the decision making process with the model layers selection on site, and this can be viewed on a multiple devices including the iPad, tablets, even in the smartphones. Apart from that, in Alec utilized the 3D scanners to capture the real-time as-built information from site and produce the as-built drawing. The technology involved in 3D scanning has eased the process and developed the as-built information, which actually can be means like used for different purposes, because it's verified, and because it has kind of like a validation process behind it. So it's you can get accurate as built from the means like as built models. Apart from that, in what we did is like with scan from the traditional laser scanner, in Alec we have introduced scale robotics, which help us to automate the deviation analysis process. The time usually it takes means like days, now becomes hours, and with manual methods of superimposing the 3D scan models or the point cloud models over the models and going through each element by element, with help of introducing the robotic scale robotics, we manage to reduce the times to hours, and it give us the reports, like you said, that it give us the heat map, which to give us the deviation analysis. This technology help us identify some very crucial design discrepancies in a very initial stage. So we modified the so many means like other elements, or modified the design to suit the as-built condition. So with help of the laser scan and adding the automation into, I can definitely say that eventually it saves major rework at sites. So moving forward to our last BIM use, but not least, the asset information model handover for FM. From onset of the project, with consultation with the client and facility operators, we have developed a strategy to build an asset register directly from the BIM model. If you can see that, what will happen is like we have developed like all the subcontractor propose an asset, it goes to extensive QAQC process approvals, then this assets list of the asset will be submitted for consultant approval. Once we get the assets, we identify all the assets in the model, and then we create a asset register in the model, and then we export it using the dynamic links or the direct sheet links. Once the information is added into the Excel, so what we do is like again our QAQC approval will take place. Again, the final approval from the consultant happen. Then, because we have already established one-on-one relationship between the assets and the information coming from the Excel, we link back that Excel into the Revit models to create the aim. So if you see the process in the below chart, so first it will start from the asset registers and then approval, and then the final synchronization happen back to the aim models. To further automate this process, we used tools such as Rushforth and die routes, which dynamically link the asset register to the asset models. So anytime if the information in the asset registers changed by for any reason, it can be easily synced back to the aim model. So this information workflow for asset is it starts uh, like further to the previous slide. This workflow shows the how the information can be developed, and it start getting the from the getting the approval from the engineering model and end up with enrich aim models. So what we did is like we prepare asset list and get approval from the consultant and PMC, insert the Revit schedule from the template which we created to the models, select the families which are assets, fill in the graphical information which is like already should be part of your BIM models, and then fill the information which is coming from omni-class code and non-graphical information. Then export that spreadsheet using the sheet link add-ins, and then what we do is like we forward that spreadsheet to the all the stakeholders from the project. So the suppliers, the supply chain, or the subcontractor and the specialist contractor, what they do is like they fill all the data, commissioning data, ONM, FM parameters, whatever it's required and what it's like agreed with the client. So when as soon as we get the approval on this information sheet, we bring back the more sheets into the model. So this is where we create the aim model, and this is how we means like managing the complete process of BIM, which starts from like developing the 3D model and enhancing the 3D model which we receive from the design consultant to back to them like handing over the asset information model. So with this, I come to end of my presentation. Uh, if, if anyone have any question, please you may ask. Ralph.